Happy Monday. Welcome back for day 69 of 100 Days of Halloween. I hope you are well. I hope you enjoyed your weekend. So, 100 Days of Halloween. What am I doing? Well, my lovely Yarny friend and sister Ranee over at the Woolly Llama shop had discussed with several of us that she was wanting to do a project for the 100 Days of Halloween, and her idea was to do a fall Halloween themed blanket. And for each of the 100 days, she wanted to do one block or square, approximately 6 inch by 6 inch ish. And each square or block would have its own either Halloween or fall themed applique, colorway, or it could be a square that already has something implemented in it, a motif, as you will. And I thought it was a brilliant idea since it's hot in the South that time of year when this gets kicked off. And so I told her I would join in solidarity because I'd been wanting to make a Halloween blanket anyway. And some other Yarny friends and sisters also joined in, even though they're not making blankets. We're all doing different projects ish. Rainey and I are doing the blankets in two entirely different ways. But Patricia over at the Yarny Cat Crochet, she's made a handbag. She's made a scarf. She's made an Amie. And I don't know what else as of the recording of this video because you are seeing future me. um, um, and then we have Nova over at Nova Gnome Creations that is making wearables for herself and some adorable littles in her life. And we also have a viewer that's already sent in a picture, and she made the most adorable. I'm not going to give it away because I want to wait and show the picture in a video, but I need some more pictures, guys. If you have made anything fall or Halloween themed, send me some pictures or send the pictures to Rainey, because I want to implement them into a video. So by doing 100 granny squares, for this blanket in the 100 days, I'm counting down my blocks in groups of 10. And each time I complete a group of 10, I'm doing a video short recap so that you can see all of the squares before I feed my blanket. Yes, feed it. There's a reason behind that. If you are new here, I have a lot of black kitties in my blanket, and so we are feeding the kitties. So, yeah. And currently, we have completed 6 groups of 10. So now we are on 61 through 70. And as of today, we are on number 69. So we only have one more left in this group of 10, which you will see tomorrow. So let's do a real quick recap of the squares that I have done for this group of 10, meaning day 61 through today. And if there's an applique that was either a blog tutorial, pattern, written pattern, or a tutorial, I will let you know who made it and have in the description box where you can find it for that day's square. And I will also let you know if it was something I freehanded. So, day 61, we drew out a square at random from my Boo Box of Fate. That was from this Red Heart Super Saver Jumbo Stripes in the Brights. And normally I don't cover these up because they are so pretty, because they're all so different. I used up whole skein making these squares, except for like a smidgy bit. But I still had that little smidgy bit ball left that was screaming that it wanted to grow up to be something. So I found an applique for these little candies, and I thought they were perfect. Sweet treats, Halloween, to go on this square. So I did actually put appliques on this one. And these little candy appliques are from the Caffeinated Snail, which all the information is in the description box. I used up that smidgy bit ball. There was maybe a piece of yarn this long that was left. So it finally got used as it wished, and it no longer is sitting there next to my recliner screaming at me. So that was what I did for day 61. And then For day 62, we drew out another square, and it had like this sunset vibe going on. It was yellow with these little orange little bits in it. Went to a bright orange, then a deeper orange, then a bright red, and then a deeper red. And while I was searching for inspiration on this for something different, I came across an applique tutorial, and I thought that this one was perfect because of the sunset vibe. And several of you guys were guessing that this is something that should have been on there once we read them. And I put a bat on there. I know I had used a bat before, but this is an entirely different one. I thought this one was super cute. And the name of it was called Silly Bat. So I had to use it. Um, it's actually the Silly Bat Applique tutorial, and it's by the Butterfly Craft DIY. And of course, you can find the information in the description box. So that was on day 62. And then for day 63, we drew out a purple. And yes, gotta love the purple. And there was a suggestion that kept popping up over probably the last month or so when you guys started guessing what I would put on squares. And I just had to figure out how to do it. I couldn't find any tutorials or written patterns that were free, and couldn't find any that I liked. And so I decided I was going to try and freehand it. And I probably worked on it a little longer than I should have, but I finally got it to pretty much the way I wanted it. And so we put the little alien with the UFO, because a bunch of you kept wanting to see one. And then I made a little planet. It was just a circle. And then I surface crocheted the little ring around it, made another little planet, some little shooting stars, and all that. And then once I got it done, I realized it matches my Missi's Yarniverse project bags that Ranee from the Woolly Llama shop had made for me. And they actually were the ones that designed my logo on here. And yeah, it goes along with it really good. So I was super happy with that. So that one, it was inspired by a bunch of you. I cannot remember how many people have suggested that. So yeah, we finally did the alien. And then for day 64, we started my and I'm dropping my post-its so I can keep track here, because I'm doing a lot of videos today for you guys while I'm going on vacation. But we had drawn out probably almost 2 weeks ago the squares for me to be working on, etc., during my vacation, so I could have them ready to go. And as Amie from Hooked on Wishing, she called it my vacation advent granny square kit. And we drew out this square that was made from Red Heart Super Saver jumbo stripes and neons. And I like the color play in here. And after I was looking at it, I was seeing a black kitty kind of. And I've got a bunch of appliques that are way too big for just one square. And I'm hoping that by some of these blank ones, even if there's color work in them, if they line up, if I line them up at just right, some of them might be able to be implemented into my blanket before we are finished with it. So I chose to leave this one blank yet again. And that was the neon stripes. So then we work our way up to day 65. And day 65 was actually inspired by a couple of you. And it was a purple square. Yes, yet again, another purple. What are the odds of that, right? And we had Ranee and Patricia that both wanted to see this applique put on a square because this certain thing is very synonymous with the fall, Halloween, all of that, at least when I was a kid. I know I kind of see them in stores now, but I don't hardly ever hear of anybody talking about that they get them and eat them, but they are super delicious. They both wanted to see caramel apples on a stick. And specifically, Patricia had asked and kept suggesting a green apple caramel apple. So yes, I did the Granny Smith apple, and the pattern for the apple is actually from the Unraveled Mitten, and it will be in the description box. It's just called the apple pattern. I think it's an apple, or you can just change the color and do a pumpkin. But I did the apple and just did it in the Granny Smith colored apple. And I freehanded the caramel, which we had done the poison apple applique weeks ago, back when I think we first started. And so I kind of took inspiration off of how that one was done, but this one's a little different to get it to fit. So there we go. That was our green apple caramel apple. And that was day 65. And that one is inspired from Ranee and Patricia. And that leads us up to day 66. And we had drawn another of the Red Heart Super Saver Bright squares, but this one was like super bright. It was, this started out with orange and has the neon yellow and green, and then ends in an orange outer perimeter or trim out, whatever. Um, and this one started screaming at me right away that it needed, of course, because you guys know I am obsessed with black kitties. So I just gave it some little of the fluorescent green eyes to go with the fluorescent green on here. And the applique pattern is Black Cat Crochet Pattern by Golden Lucy Crafts. And all that information is in the description box. And I think Ranee has actually pulled this one out, if I'm not mistaken. I think. Um, Now it's all blurring together. I can't remember. So, yes, we did the black kitty. And of course, I think we've done a black kitty every group of 10, if not more. And you guys know, if I find any more black cats, they're going in my blanket. We still have a little over, we have what, 31 days? So, yep. Now, that brings us to day 67. And we drew out another of the Red Heart Super Saver brights squares, but it was just in the neon fluorescent green yellow. And but I had done that one different. I had done it in C2C, and I was trying to figure out what to put on it because I didn't want to cover the whole thing because it was pretty and very vibrant, very I'm here. And so I was kind of looking around online and everything for a little bit of inspiration from some of the suggestions you guys gave. And I happened upon a blog post by Divine Debris. And it was actually a pattern for a candy corn handbag. But on that handbag, they had made a little cupcake applique and turned that cupcake into a candy corn cupcake. So I searched their site and found the cupcake applique. And theirs, of course, I think is in a dark blue wrapper on the bottom, and then it's a really light blue, like the frosting part. I counted up the rows for the top part of the candy corn cupcake and just switched it out for the yellow, orange, and white, and gave it purple and black sprinkles. So I put a Halloween candy corn iced cupcake on my square. And like I said, the cupcake pattern is from Divine Debris, and it is down in the description box for day 67. And I think that I think there's also a clickable link in that thing for actually the candy cane handbag. I don't remember for sure, but it was super cute. You can find it on their site because it was their pattern as well. And they have several other ones. So that was day 67. And then we move on to day 68. For our Advent vacation, Advent, we had drawn out this green square, and I wasn't quite sure what I was going to put on it. And I was kind of digging around in my box of appliques that I've been working on. Some of them are unfinished, some of them aren't. And there is a group of 5 from, and we've used 2 of these, and they are by the Caffeinated Snail. And it's a group of 5 little trick-or-treating ghosties that are dressed up in different things. We've already used the Franken ghostie. We've already used the pumpkin ghostie. I just made additional pumpkins for it to be pumpkin patch ghostie, and it's holding a pumpkin. And one of the other ones is a witch ghostie. And yes, I remembered the kawaii eyes on this one this time. And I do flatten the backs. You can't tell they're on there. I melt them down, and I did give it a purple little witch hat with a black hat band. And there are 2 more in that group from the trick or treating ghosties. There's a vampire bat ghostie and a pirate ghostie. And we will get them put into the blanket before we end all this. I just wanted to make sure that I wanted to make sure that all 5 of them get used in my blanket because I made them all up and I wanted them in there because I thought they were super adorable. So that was day 68. And then day 69 today. What square did we draw at random for the advent for today? Well, we had drawn out another of the Red Heart Super Saver in the brights, but this one ended up in the darker shades. It started off with this like hot fuchsia vibrant, and then went to like a grape purple, and then a more, it's kind of like a almost fuchsia purple cross mix, and then it goes out to a grape purple that turns into a midnight purple and then into black. And so I chose to leave it as is, kind of like the neons one from several days ago, because like I said, I've got appliques that are too big for just one square, and I'm hoping that I can implement them on groups of these and not cover up too much of the color play in them. So that was day 69. And I think I left out some information on this crochet along. Um, and I don't remember because I've done so many videos today to get you guys ready for while I'm out on vacation so I don't miss a day. And so I can't remember if I've already said it or not. So, but that's okay because we still have one more day that we had prepped our vacation advent for. And so hopefully I'll get all the information in that video. And if not, it's in the others. So, yes, that was day 69. We chose to leave it blank, and I think it's pretty. I love these colors. I actually love this yarn, guys. I love it so much that that's what I'm joining all of my blanket squares with, because so many of these squares have those colors in it, and it is making that blanket so much of a joy. Just the colors and all of the different squares and all that are just so fun, and I am just sitting back and enjoying the process. And I know once this is all over with and the blanket is complete, I'm going to be sad. But at the end of it all, I'm going to have a super awesome blanket that was inspired by my friend Ranee. Um, and her very quick decision to do this for the 100 days, and I am so glad she did, and I am so glad I joined in. Yeah, so day 69, guys. um so I guess I'm gonna let you go. I've got one more vacation day video to film to get you guys all set up while I'm gone, and yeah. So I'm going to say bye for now. I love you guys bunches, and I will see you back tomorrow for day 70. Yes, day 70. So bye, guys. Love ya.